Episode 18. Han Li's mind was a tangled mess. He was a little scared, a little regretful, and more than a little lost. He'd stalled for this long, but a way out still eluded him. He was starting to panic. Though he tried to stay calm, a fine sheen of sweat broke out on his forehead. Dr. Mo didn't miss a single change in Han Li's expression, thoroughly satisfied with the immense pressure he was exerting. He had always believed that only when someone's mental defenses were down could they be made to spill the truth. Han Li was knocked senseless by this sudden blow.
Do you think I'm slacking off on purpose, dragging my feet with my training?
Of course, you couldn't even reach the 4th layer in 2 years. Did you really think I wouldn't see through your little trick? You finished the first 3 layers in just 3 years. Even if the 4th layer is too difficult to train and you lacked medicinal aids, it's impossible you made not a single shred of progress in 2 years.
It seems no matter how I explain it, you won't believe me, Elder. I never imagined that hiding my progress would be the very thing that led to this mess. I really did lift a rock only to drop it on my own foot. I wonder if it was right or wrong to force Dr. Mo's hand early and unravel this whole mystery.
Enough. I don't care whether your past actions were real or not. Listen well. I'll ask you this once. Can you reach the 4th layer of the Eternal Spring Arts in 1 more year?
You know perfectly well I can't give you any other answer. Unseal my pressure points first.
Dr. Mo's expression softened at his words, and a glint of approval appeared in his eyes. Yet, instead of stepping forward to release Han Li's acupoints, he cautiously drew a square sandalwood box carved with a restriction from his robes.
Words alone aren't enough. What if you refuse to cultivate with real dedication? That would be no different from before. For the sake of both our lives, we need an extra layer of insurance.
Dr. Mo carefully opened the lid. A single white pill lay quietly in the center of the box. Dr. Mo reached out and gave Han Li a quick rub, releasing his pressure points, then held the box out before him.
You're a smart man, you know what to do.
Han Li flexed his numb limbs. Without a word, he took the sandalwood box and gently plucked the pill from inside. Without even looking at it in front of the other person, he popped it directly into his mouth and swallowed.
Excellent. A wise man knows when to bend. Help me recover and you'll be well rewarded. I won't lie to you. There's a rift between us now, so taking you on as a true disciple is out of the question. But I can still guarantee you a life of wealth and comfort.
Now, tell me what that pill does. That way I won't unknowingly break a taboo and lose my life.
This is a corpse worm pill made from eggs processed by a secret method. Once you swallow it, it will lie dormant inside you for a year. Rest assured, it's perfectly safe for the next year. It won't interfere with anything else you do. In a year, you just need to take the special antidote, and it will dissolve on its own. It will leave no lingering side effects whatsoever. But if you don't take the antidote within a year, the eggs will absorb enough nutrients to hatch. They'll devour every last organ in your body, leaving you to howl in agony for 3 days and 3 nights before you finally die a slow, painful death.
Han Li's body gave a slight tremble at the poison pill's vicious description, his expression turning ashen. He could barely contain the fury rising within him.
By the way, I hear you have quite a few family members back home. Is the silver you send them each month still enough? If it's not enough, just tell me and I'll get you more. I've been thinking about your family.
Only now did Dr. Mo truly bare his fangs, sinking them deep into Han Li's most vital spot. Han Li's face had turned ashen. He bit his lip with the last of his strength, terrified that a torrent of curses or desperate pleas would escape his mouth. He knew full well that no amount of pleading or threats would make the other party let go of this greatest leverage.
You have my word. I'll reach the 4th layer within a year.
Under Dr. Mo's naked threat, Han Li had no choice but to yield for now. With his vital point seized, even the thought of a mutual, desperate struggle had to be abandoned. In this first confrontation with Dr. Mo, he had been utterly defeated. Hearing Han Li's words of submission, Dr. Mo let out a long, relieved sigh. His own tension was no less than Han Li's. But he completely masked it with that bizarre, ever-shifting expression.
This eternal spring arts is truly bizarre. That damned kid is so young, yet he's already this hard to handle.
While the eternal spring arts do have the effect of cleansing the marrow and sharpening the mind, the actual results depend entirely on the person cultivating them. Han Li was naturally far more mature and intelligent than his peers. After cultivating the eternal spring arts, his wit and cunning soared far beyond that of an ordinary youth. Han Li turned and headed for the door, then suddenly looked back and asked one more question.
The fellow standing behind Elder Mo hasn't said a word. What's his story?
You're so clever. Take a guess. I'm sure you'll figure it out.
Han Li shook his head and walked cleanly out of Dr. Mo's room. Whether he couldn't figure it out, or simply didn't want to try. Once Han Li stepped outside, his face darkened.
In that clash with Dr. Mo, I was completely powerless to fight back. I was too naive, thinking a bit of cleverness would let me hold my own. And the 5 poison water I painstakingly concocted and hid inside the iron rod, it was snatched away before I could even use it. I should just go back and focus on figuring out how to strengthen my own power.
Inside the room, Dr. Mo casually tested the iron rod's contents. The venom that shot out instantly corroded a hole in the floor as wide as a bowl. Seeing the bizarre toxicity of the venom, Dr. Mo could no longer contain his lingering fear. He jumped up and started cursing.
When the hell did you learn to brew poison like this? I never taught him anything like this. I thought it was just ordinary knockout powder. That little brat is truly ruthless and merciless.
Unaware of the fright he had given Dr. Mo, Han Li returned to his room and immediately collapsed onto his bed, falling into a deep sleep. The immense upheaval he'd experienced today had taken a heavy toll, both physically and mentally. He desperately needed rest to recover. Han Li awoke slowly from his sleep, feeling fully refreshed. He sat up and looked at the sky. The east was beginning to pale. It seemed he had slept straight through until the next morning. Han Li didn't get out of bed right away. Instead, he propped his chin in his hands, resting his elbows on his thighs. He began to think of ways to escape Dr. Mo's control.
At least for the next year, I'm completely safe. Dr. Mo, for the sake of his own life, won't lay a hand on me. In fact, he'll do everything he can to protect me. But whether I'll still be safe a year from now, that's another story. I'm not worried about the eternal spring arts. I already broke through to the 4th layer the day before yesterday. Reaching the 5th layer in a year will be a cinch. The corpse worm pill isn't a problem either. When the time comes, I'll just show him my cultivation progress. Before he demands treatment, I'll threaten him into giving me the antidote. He probably won't risk offending me over this.
Suddenly, Han Li remembered something. He reached behind his back, pulled out a medicine bottle, tipped out a single emerald green pill, and swallowed it. After a moment, once the medicine took effect, he began to quietly focus his senses inward.
That old devil Mo wasn't lying about the corpse worm pill. Even the all-purpose antidote, the clear spirit powder, is useless against it. Looks like I really will have to wait a full year for the antidote.
After tucking the vial back into his robes, he got up from the bed. He began to pace around the room's single table, hands clasped behind his back, as he continued to turn his problems over in his mind.
I can't fully trust what old man Mo says. He's definitely lying about a lot of things, but he's threatening my parents and family. I really have no choice. Whether he'll actually keep his word a year from now, that's also highly doubtful. If it were really as simple as he claims, that would be easy. He's just hiding the parts that are unfavorable to me so he can turn on me and strike a deadly blow later. If I don't make any preparations at all, won't I be left with no room to resist?
Han Li turned the problem over and over in his mind, but he couldn't find a good solution. Now he and Dr. Mo were both afraid. The doctor feared he wouldn't cultivate diligently, jeopardizing his own life, and Han Li worried that once the doctor had no more loose ends, he'd strike him down without mercy. He could have used that as leverage against his opponent, but now, with his loved ones held hostage, he had no choice but to back down and compromise.
Am I really supposed to entrust my life to his mercy, hoping he'll show me leniency when the time comes? No, I absolutely cannot do that. My fate will never be left to the whims of others. To hand over everything I am to be manipulated by another is the height of foolishness.
After racking his brains, Han Li finally came up with a less than ideal solution. He planned to bolster his strength from multiple angles, devising ways to increase his own bargaining chips to intimidate the other party. Even if they do attack, I'll have room to defend myself. This really is a clumsy plan. We're stuck on the defensive, letting the enemy strike first. But for now, this is the only viable method, the most prudent and secure course of action. Having made up his mind, Han Li decided to go out for a walk. He pushed open the door, stepped out onto the empty ground, and stretched lazily with a yawn. He faced the biting morning wind, gazing at the crimson sun now halfway up the sky. A surge of heroic spirit swelled within him.
My own destiny is mine to command. No one else will ever hold the reins.